Greetings everyone and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video I am going to be talking about a bit of anti-Semitism and ignorance that is predominant on BitChute. I'm all for freedom of speech, but this is taking things almost to a point of being slanderous, especially for how brief it is. I'm doing this partially to ensure that the person won't remove it before I can play this for the expert in Judaism that I'm planning on interviewing. But first, there's this.
It's inconceivable to visualize any population. And under very specific circumstances, according to various rabbinic opinions, it would be seemingly permissible to kill children.
Okay, that's it. And I wanted to get all of it because the claim is made in about 15 seconds. And what gets me with this, and I want to show you, I have made two remarks regarding this, and one I commented to the person that had said, well, as long as they're rabbinic opinions, what can I say? I first want to point out what I said to them. I would say you should do what I am going to, and that is interview an actual Jewish rabbi and find out if this is valid or yet another common Christian lie. Because there is a very high probability that all of this is fake. That none of these people are actually Jews, because that type of get-up is not something that only a Jew would wear. It's people can do that, wear those clothes, and not actually be Jewish. And making the statement like they do and not actually be Jewish. But I am very suspicious of this video because where the person said very, very specific circumstances, and this was not clarified? Fucking seriously? There was no clarification asked for? How do you get someone to make a claim like was made in this video and not ask for clarification? What very, very specific circumstances are you talking about? The only thing I can conclude is that the person asking this wasn't interested in the circumstances, because there is a high degree of probability when I talk to an expert in Judaism that this isn't even legitimate, that this is absolutely fake, that no Jew would actually say this, and that all of this was made for the purpose of slandering Jews. And the fact that it had 4 people out of their 11 subscribers that like it, that says something about BitChute. I'm all for freedom of speech, but when you have people that are very clearly what I would consider to be racists and neo-Nazis, I think there needs to be some curtailing of what people are allowed to say and so forth, because you get into slandering others. That is where, yes, I'm all for freedom of speech, but there have to be limits, like no yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. Or you don't have freedom of speech at a job, because if you just run your dick licker at a job, you can end up getting your ass fired. You can't just say whatever you want whenever the fuck you want. There's time and place. And if you're going to make slanderous claims about someone, you damn well better be able to prove those claims. I don't feel that anyone should just get a pass on slanderous claims that they want to make about someone or about an entire group's or culture's character and not get challenged. This is something that I regard as very serious. I also find it a bit laughable, this non-binary crap. There's no such thing as non-binary. You're either born with a dick or you're born with a vagina. You're either male or you're female. This idea of you're non-binary, horse shit. There are two genders, male or female. This whole idea of how you feel, who gives a fuck how you feel? Your feelings do not matter when it comes to your gender. Your gender is what are you packing a dick or are you not? This whole notion gets me heated because of how moronic it is. Because that also gets into the idea of pushing sexual orientation and so forth on children. Children that do not have the age, they're not at the age of consent sexually. You want to have these kids saying what gender they identify as, and even worse, doing gender transitioning drugs and so forth on children, and then posting stupid bullshit like this. It boggles my mind how people can be so damn ignorant. Regarding this video, I reached out to the person in charge of Jews for Judaism, and I had mentioned that I had done interviews with Mark Powers, and I would like to interview him again. But if that's not possible, I would interview the rabbi that's in charge now. I really don't care what Jewish rabbi I would be talking to regarding Judaism. But I think there are some things like this video that need to be addressed, as well as things that are in the fucking Bible that should be addressed and clarified, because there's a lot of confusion regarding what Christians claim versus what Jews actually believe pertaining to their Bible, their book. Because I am not one to go along with the idea of just making up anything you want like Christians want to, because a prime example of where they distort Judaism and do not understand Hebrew is regarding the use of the word virgin. There are two Hebrew words that get translated as virgin. One is an alma, which is a young woman. The other is a bethulah, and that is a sexual virgin. If you do not know which is being talked about, you will not understand what is being said. There is no Hebrew word for fucked by Casper. That is not a thing in Judaism. There's also two different Hebrew words for a biological child, a ben, and a follower, a zera. And somebody that is a person's ben, their biological child, can also be their zera, their follower. But somebody that is a person's follower can never be their Ben. Because if you are just the follower of someone, that does not mean you could ever be their biological child. You would first be their Ben before you would be their Zerah, if you're tracking what I'm saying. This is where, if you do not understand the Hebrew terms, you will not understand what is being talked about. And that is where things can get distorted. And that is a big reason why I'm doing, and I want to get back to doing the interviews with an expert in Judaism that, like I did, because there's a lot of things, especially regarding the Bible, that I feel need to be clarified in order for people to understand what is being talked about. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Talk to you later, people.